Top don't want or welcome to part 2/2. So in the 1/2, and there was a lot of interruptions. So the interruptions was phone calls. So yeah. And yeah, so now this is gonna be 2/2/2 instead of yeah. It was nothing like, oh yeah. So if you have you seen that video and now you're clicking on this one. So in this part, so when Mr. Aizawa and Music Mike heard that Kirigiri is the same as their friend Cloudboy, when they heard that, they were in shock. And plus they were they asked him who was the one that was, as he tells them it was the Quark Doctor, and he pulls out the phone, his phone, as he shows it. It's him, this guy right here. And he also says he's also the man that's gonna put All for One's quirk and into as he shows the picture of a guy with hands all over his body. That's Truckison. His quirk decaying. Every time he touches someone, or something, with all 5 fingers, it will destroy the most of the world. So, yeah. So those two are so, and yeah. As the guy, or as when Music Mike heard, okay, so as Mr. Aizawa looks at Infinity Lord and tells him, is this stuff true that you know their plans better than anyone? Yes. I've seen it happen many times before. And the video, as he looks away from Mr. Aizawa. And if you're thinking about me as a UA trader, no. Many people from my world speculated it was Mina but there was one, actually. His name, you know him. He's in your class, Mr. Aizawa. But as Mr. Aizawa could tell what would have happened, or he asked what would have happened if we failed. Well, if rest of you failed at the keeping Shrakisen away from inheriting All for One's or quirk thing. We lost so many good people. Stars and Stripes. The shield guy. Every other pro hero. Like Midnight. And, plus, so basically Zuko, Infinity Lord tells them that it's all like true, but and the villains will attack the camp. As so Mr. Aizawa was like thinking of who would be the good and who would be a good UA trader. He says someone from my class. And then Music Mike's over there. Still he's kind of upset at how the Quark Doctor turns their friend into a Nomu. He's still upset about that. So he's ready to punch a Quark Doctor on him because and so then and so he looks over at the Mr. Aizawa and tells him as he's so ready to beat the snot out of the Quark Doctor because so then a time skip. So USJ incident didn't actually happen, and so Sports Festival, Infinity Lord finished it in about 0 seconds fast. Actually all the way to nanoseconds. He didn't cut across. He walked all the way around faster than normal. And the obstacle course, or obstacles for him is stepping stones. So he was done in about 0 seconds. As he's just laying there. And he's in his normal outfit. So so then the Cam art thing didn't happen because and Infinity Lord did he says, or actually he walks up to Tenya with such a focused look and tells him, call your brother right now. As he does the same look as so Tenya's why? You want him alive, or do you want him to still live, right? Yes, he's my brother. Want to be just like him? Well, he's gonna die from Hero Killer Stain. He's about to kill him. And when Tenya when he heard that his brother's about to die, he literally calls his mom, informs her that his brother's about to die, and so Tenya's brother comes in, or comes and, or like goes away, or like goes back to the house to make sure. Yeah. So then Hero Killer Stain was about to, and so leave Hero Killer Stain to me. I'll be right back. As he literally goes over to where Hero Killer Stain is, and Hero Killer Stain's like, you're just a citizen. I'm also a student at UA. And you must be Hero Killer Stain. I heard so much about you. That's why I'm here. To bring you to justice. You're those fake heroes, as he tries to chop off Infinity Lord's head, but the blade broke on impact. As he said, I told you. As he grabs Hero Killer Stain's head and slams it in the ground. And he picks him up. And he did knock Hero Killer Stain out. And so he puts handcuffs and really tight on Hero Killer Stain's wrists and feet, so that plus then he drags his body all the way to like the police station. And he did teleport to there into the police station and threw him in. Here you go. And yeah, I just knew that he was about to commit murder on Tenya's brother, so I just stepped in and yeah. So then he teleports back. I'm back. So then, because he had a lot of time. I mean, a lot of time. Because all the students couldn't even, yeah. So then the whole thing goes kabloomy. Yeah. And yeah. He basically, he wouldn't allow anyone to die, and yeah. So then Zuko versus Infinity Lord. Who would win? I know that you guys are probably saying Zuko could win because he has one for all. Yeah. But Infinity Lord could just snap his fingers and pointing, and Zuko would be vanished out of thin air. But instead, he was like, I'm too good for him. As he kicks him around like a little baseball bat. Yeah. So then yeah. He basically, yeah. Basically, he's just like walks around. So, yeah. So now a time skip to All Might versus All for One. So, All Might was down. He's like typical All Might. He's always down. And so then he looks over at All for One. And he sees All for One as he jumps. As All for One's about to use his supersonic boom, like the laser attack. And any last words? As All Might says, yeah. Infinity to you, Lord. I know that. And, infinity, Lord, suck it up, Buttercup. As the attack goes off, but out of nowhere, there's a hand sticking straight out. And he's absorbing the attack. And guess who it was? Not Infinity, but it looks like he's Infinity. Where is he? This guy, as he says, I'm his other alternate ego called Zero. Call me Zero Lord. And yeah, now I heard that you were about to kill All Might, but no one can. If you have to kill All Might, you have to go through me first. As Zuko, as All for One's like, who are you again? I'm Zero and Lord. As they could tell, or All Might could tell that the shoulder pads ends changed from being like Captain America look-alike thing to absolute gold. And wearing a black suit. So he basically absorbs the attacks as he says, and I know that you took away my our friends' powers or quirks from them. So, how do you feel as Zero who Lord grabs All for One, and you know what happens next? He literally absorbs all the quirks except for All for One's quirk into his body. Like, he absorbs it. As All for One's screaming, no! As the power's draining out of him. His immortality gone. His regeneration gone. And the only thing that was left was All for One's clothes and his shoes. That's it. All for One was no more. Amen. Sorry, I just had to. Yeah. So, basically, Zero looks over and says, man, and let me absorb all the debris. As he absorbs all the debris, like the trash thing into himself. I forget the building collapse thing. Like, yeah. As Zero looks over, and he flies over to whom the wild pussycat and yellows, because she's basically was still like numb. As he says, I purged the quirk from All for Ones. So here we go. As he gives it back to her. You might feel better after him. So then, what does Zuko do? Or what does Zero Lord do? He basically was like, after he cleaned up everything, he puts everything back together and he's like, man, you're dirty. As he pulls out like hairbrushes and scrubbers and like cleans off the clothes and he straightens out the hairs. Because Zero isn't like, he has a similar powers as if he was, yeah. So, but he has kindness in his heart. And he's a clean freak, so he's like an alternate version where he is more like that. He's just like how Sir Night Eyes is. But instead of being like in the like fully Mr. or he and Infinity is just like how if Toga and Mushroom Girl fused. Yeah. So they're like, man, you do have two different personalities. So then, yeah. So sorry about the barking. But yeah. So the time skip to overhaul thing. As he looks at Sir Night Eyes, because he was going to the agency with Zuko, and he's like, you must be Sir Night Eyes. I heard so much about you, too. You have the quirk that could see into the future of, that's funny. I could see you in the far future. A couple minutes you'll be dead by his spike going right through your stomach. You don't believe me? Here. As he points, or as he like taps on, or actually taps on the side, or like forehead thing, as he could see himself getting like pierced right through the stomach by a villain's attack. Yeah, and dies from it. So then Zuko was like, or he's like, man, you still have the same, and And you must be Bubble Girl. I heard so much about you too. You're more when we first arrived, you were getting tickled by the Sir Night Eyes. Right? Yeah. Huh. Well. Yeah. So then overhaul thing happens. Zuko or Aries is like, so Overhaul is in his big monster form. Zuko's like, I know that you'll probably feel so much pain in Zuko, that because of Aries' quirk. And don't worry, Aries, I go through that same thing every time I use my powers. As let me deal with him. So both Infinity Lord is beating around Overhaul like a little rag doll. He's untouchable, and yeah. So then after that, the time skip to 18. So, and plus Toga is still alive. So after the war arc thing, and first two war arcs, and Zuko, Infinity Lord, Infinity Lord Hearn is happy that he got. Let me remind you, it's an alternate version of me. So, an alternate version of me is not similar to me in real life or in this world. So, yeah. So, an alternate version of him gets married, or Infinity Lord gets married to Toga. And yeah, Toga, and him got married and had 2 kids. Both of them have similar quirks to their mother, but they both have 2 different powers. Like they both inherit, or one of them inherits the infinity, and the other inherits 0. So yeah. So then and plus let's say so we got that all done. Let's see how long this video took. And perfect time. Peace out, y'all, and sorry for that interruption. And I don't know how to add videos into this, so or combine those 2 videos into this one. So peace out, y'all. Peace.